Am I live? Of course I am. Oh shit, here we go again. Same-ish, different day. What can I say, people? Let's make sure the mic is there. People, deluded, I'm back again. As usual, thank you very much for tuning back in each and every time. If you're like myself in the UK, good morning, good afternoon, good evening, and of course, good night, depending on where you guys are placed elsewhere in this world. Hope everyone's well and safe. Hope everyone's in good spirits. Hope everyone, number one, has got their health. And I hope everyone had a good weekend. And, you know, they're starting this week strongly, man. Appreciative. No clue why isn't... What's going on, man? Now, I can say one love to you. I can see you lot on Twitch. But, like, in terms of StreamYard, we're having trouble streaming to Twitch. This might be an issue on Twitch's end. We'll keep trying and let you know if it's resolved. Please check Twitch to ensure the stream looks okay. It does look okay, but why aren't the comments coming up? Does my own comments come up? Hey, people are player hating already. I don't know what that's all about, people, but I don't know why certain comments are not arising. Nonetheless, like on Twitch, D-man, I can see your comment. One sec, people. One sec. Let me come out of this and come back in. What kind of foolishness is this? All right, let's try this again. Someone comment, please, because this is moving mad. I can't lie to you. But as I was saying, I hope everyone's doing well and safe. I hope everyone's in good spirits. I hope everyone's having a good start to the week, moving that much closer to their goals, hopes, dreams, aspirations, and all of these sort of things, man. Obviously, you know. All right, we're back. All right, big up you lot, man. Ethan, Josh, G1. Appreciate it, man. Tyrese, EK. If I haven't said it, anyone who just you bold, thank you very much, D-man, as well. Appreciate that. And again, we're back. Normal service has resumed. So let's go again. People, deluded, I'm back again. Good morning to those of you in the United Kingdom. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, and of course, in some cases, good night. As I said, hope everybody started the week strong. Health is wealth. So fundamentally, I hope everyone's got good spirits. In terms of myself, I'm doing well, people, man. It's Tuesday. I can't lie. Ever since I started going at this full time, the benefit has been no 2 days are the same. And to be fair, you look forward to every day. The benefit is, it's not even a benefit, and it's not that you lose track of time, but every day is the same. Like, admittedly, it feels like it feels like a Thursday. It's only Tuesday, but we go again. Obviously, in terms of content this week, people, you already know what sort of time it is. Later today, Manchester United are playing Atletico Madrid. I can't lie, it's probably not going to be the most glorious of performances, but Man United love drama. Somebody needs to win, etc., people. So, yeah, we're going to be doing a watch-along for that. Wednesday, tomorrow, we'll be doing a watch-along for Arsenal versus Liverpool. Thursday, there's Europa League, so we'll be doing something there. And it's self-explanatory, innit? Make sure you're checking your schedules if you're on Twitch. And obviously, make sure you're supporting the thing on YouTube. And again, appreciative to all the new ones. But as I say, it's a privilege to be here, see the same old names, faces, etc., etc. I'm even doing a couple man dirty. Jonathan, death, taxes, and you saying all stand for the national anthem is, I think, everyone's become accustomed to. Live from Planet X, the Twitch is doing you dirty. Can't rise up you lot's comments, but yeah, man. DC, shout out to you as well, all the way from Bermuda. Again, I'm jealous of you, man. Tropical sun, sea, and all them thing there, man. Appreciative to you lot around the world, because obviously Live from Planet X is in Aussie land. D-man is out there with the bagged milk in Canada. The time zones can't be pretty to you. Like, some of you, the day's finished, did it? Some of you, the day ain't even started. And I know some of you have to go work. So again, the stream will be up there. Of course we're live, man. Are we live? Of course we're live. I can't lie. I only hear that in my voice, It's like the word people. Like, it's just there. DG, what's the opposite of champagne football? Orange squash footy, man. Shit football, really. Just horrible football. That Tony Pulis shit, like them things there, man. Is what is. Chelsea have some Sky have some Chelsea agenda. I don't know if Sky have an agenda. What I know is that Sky Sports and all these things, they don't care about how you feel, how I feel, how our clubs feel, anything. Their job is to have talking points, engagement levels, etc., etc. People are talking. We all know Jamie Carragher and Gary Nev. Listen, I'll never compare them to Piers Morgan, but they're kind of on that Piers Morgan thing in that these man, less so much Jamie, they're designed to be divisive, say controversial things, present controversial talking points and things like that. Even Sky, for us, they've got an agenda talking like they building up Arsenal to let them fail. You know, they started off, we can't see what we're doing in the market, this, that, and the third, Arteta's credentials, the club, etc. Now, there's nothing Arsenal can do wrong, really and truly. You know, they're just loyal to agendas. They're loyal to narratives. They're loyal to talking points. They don't care. They just want to be seen having the conversation. They don't care what's right and what's wrong, etc., etc. I'm a Palace fan. Last night, Selhurst Park was immense, proper graft. Appreciate you, my guy. You know, shout out to the Palace fans, Vieira Nation. We were supporting you lot yesterday. What I will say as well on the Palace, in fact, yesterday in the watch along, I said I ain't been Palace for a number of years. I think you'd have to go back to about 2014, them sort of years there when I went Palace away. But I said it's the best away game. Not that I've been to many, and I'm the most travelled football fan, but it's defo elite. Like it's tight, it's on top of you. The fans them are making noise, and you know, shout out to Crystal Palace yesterday. Obviously, respectfully, Crystal Palace. Ain't this the second time City's failed to score against you lot under Vieira? I could be gassing her. I could be lying in it, but I know you lot have made them drop points. Yeah, man. It's a difficult place to go to, and big up you lot, because yesterday you made it tight, you made it narrow, you made it compact. Again, shout out in particular for me, Mitchell at left back. I think he put in a proper shift. I feel Gallagher put in a shift with the. I don't like to praise man for working hard, but he led a couple of counter attacks. He pressing well, passing was good. The only thing I think he did poor, I think he caught John Stones lacking, and I don't know what he saw in his head, what world he tried to score, but maybe if he gets his head up, picks a teammate out, you get 3 points. But boy, we're always going to focus on the 2 points dropped at City versus the point gained by Palace, but deserve it. You know, were narrow when you needed to be, were compact, defended when you needed to be, had that healthy respect for Manchester City for obvious reasons, but not over respecting them. Obviously, it weren't a thing where you just sat back in your own half. There were elements of that, but you had chances of your own. You countered attack. I ain't gonna lie, I was dreading the worst for you, man, because Guita at the start, he was moving shaky and spooky and booky, but he made a couple saves, elite time wasting, etc., etc. So yeah, man. Palace deserved it. Game plan worked. What can you say? Vieira did his thing. Me as an Arsenal fan, you know, one love to the praise I see for the kit. I want Vieira to do the best he can, and obviously, respectfully, there's not too many black managers, so I'd love for Vieira to do well. And I don't know what it is in society, but it's like, obviously, I'm not trying to take it into this sort of realm because we don't need to go there. But it's almost like, it feels like Vieira, whether he does good or bad, it's kind of reliant on how black managers are viewed. Like, obviously, respectfully, RIP Glenn Roeder. You've got Glenn Roeders, you've got Steve Bruce's, you've got Alex Ferguson. Obviously, if my man develops or does bad, this is where people look left and right. So, yeah, man, shout out to you lot. From a Manchester City perspective, boy, it's what Pep said himself. We need a striker. Simple as that. Like we need a striker. They need a striker, better yet. And it's clear to see why 9 times out of 10 City are gonna score bare goals, bully bare teams, play bare teams off the park. Realistically, you know, City weren't at their best, but they had chances. You know, Cancelo's hit the post. Good effort. Kevin De Bruyne has hit the post. One of those efforts, Laporte's 5 yards or so out, should probably finish. And City weren't quite at it. But there's going to be 1 time, 9 times out of 10, these things go in. The one time it doesn't, and you need a striker. This is where you can have all the false nines you want. Sometimes you just need someone to do what they're paid for. It's like a centre back. You can play with the modern day demands you good with your feet. Keeper the same. Sometimes you just need to make a save, or sometimes you just need to make a tackle. You know, you look at Van Dijk, he can do all that ball playing stuff. Sometimes man just need to tackle. Ramsdale, sometimes you just need to make saves, you know, and I feel they need a goal scorer. This is why you're seeing them linked with Haaland and Kane and all these sort of guys. I don't feel they created as good as they can. I don't feel it worked Foden through the middle. I think Grealish was a bit so-so. None of them really played to their... None of them... Bernardo coasting. None of them You know, man, none of them really did much, really and truly. You know, none of them did a thing. City is 2 points dropped, and obviously going into tomorrow's game, it sets it up well in it. Now, obviously, do I expect Arsenal to win? Probably not. Well, you know, I'm putting being nice. What I want to see is a half decent performance, a bit like Palace. Don't just sit there and go, "Oh my God, these lot have won the Prem, won the champs, and these things." Have a healthy respect for Liverpool. They've earned that for what they've given to the game. But have a goal, really and truly. It is what it is. So yeah, man, Crystal Palace, you know, they did what they needed to do. You know, this title race goes down to the wire even further. Liverpool are probably backing themselves, and obviously Liverpool got to play City as well. So maybe the footballing gods are making that game there interesting. It's crazy, and I don't know about how you lot feel, but it definitely feels maybe in the last year, it feels like there's a collective. Everybody's got something to play for in the Prem, innit? Like, I don't think there's anyone that's just said, you know what, we're just there. Like, obviously, Newcastle probably got out of the woods and staying safe, but relegation battle, there's a fighting thing. Even Arsenal was in that in August. Top 4, there's a little battle there. Top 10 to top 6 to top 4 is all a little battle. You know, maybe third place is a bit of an anomaly because you can't really see Chelsea catching Liverpool. I don't really see them dropping into this mix as much as I want it to be. So they're a bit of an anomaly. But you got the two big boys in Liverpool and City fighting for it. So it's quite the interesting one if I'm completely honest with you. You know, I don't understand how Pep never made no subs yesterday. Listen, who am I? I'm sitting here on YouTube. What can I tell a Champions League winning manager anything about football? But in my humble opinion, you've got a wealth of options. It doesn't look like the players on the field are fixing things. I don't understand why he didn't draw for the sub, because I was thinking, yo, surely you got to grab a Sterling. It's Sterling's there, Gundogan's there, can fix up something. I'm sure he had his reasons, but hey, I don't know. Maybe Pep just had one of those days. Maybe something was in the air. I see him speaking to Guita after the game. I don't know what Pep was on in that, people. You know, shout out Benzema, dramatic stuff where Real Madrid's concerned. Benzema becomes the top French. Let's say, sorry, I'm reading wrong. My dyslexia is cutting in. Karim Benzema becomes the top French scorer in history in his professional career by beating Thierry Henry's record. And you know, when you're next to Henry in anything and you beat Henry's record, you're near the GOATs. And we all love Benzema. Well, I love Benzema. So big up Benzema for that achievement. King Karim, as you said, he's been slacking for me though, G1. I ain't really seen them drippy Instagram videos. Maybe he's too busy. Is what it is. I remember that relegation 6-pointer versus Norwich in September, bro. We've come a long way, bro. You know, I implore everyone to listen to young Scooter made it through the struggle. We ain't out the hood yet, but we've come a long way in it. We've come a long way. You know, it's been a dramatic season for Arsenal, man. Drama, and then some. You know, there was a time where if you mentioned Mikel Arteta new contract, bro, people are gonna try to kill you. Now it is what it is, man. So it is what it is. We're not anywhere yet, though. We ain't achieved nothing yet, though. Respectfully, what have we done? Like, we're in a race, we're fighting, because don't get twisted. As much as I like, you know, I agree with you lot, and we're a bit more healthier and we're singing from the same hymn sheet. We've got to be able to, for me, differentiate, you know, improving compared to the trash that we was and looking at it from levels like what a team should be. And I feel what we've got now is the minimum. You should be able to fight for top 4 beyond that. You should have a way of playing clear for the fans to see how it develops and etc. You know, you should have fight. You should have resilience. You should claim clean sheets. You should be scoring goals, you know. You should have options. People should be playing with a point to prove. These are all things that you shouldn't necessarily. You should have consistency. These are all things that I admire, but you shouldn't necessarily grab praise for it. You know, you lot praise my consistency on YouTube as much as and Twitch. As much as I love you guys, that's the minimum. If I don't do that, where do we go from here? You know, really and truly. It don't really. So on one hand, as much as I admire it, we're doing the minimums now. And again, the bare minimum, or consistently the bare minimum, have evaded us, really. You know, and as an Arsenal fan, you know, our standards are still probably a bit on the floor. Because listen, don't get it twisted. Tomiyasu is a great player. He just needed to show he could pass a ball forward and win his headers. And Ramsdale just needed to show he could catch. You know, let's be honest, Arsenal haven't had the bare minimum for time. So I could understand it, man. I could understand it. The football is half decent. Still a bit predictable, still a bit lopsided, still a bit not really dominating in the way I would like Arsenal to. But listen, It might be year one of this process, this proper process. So I can't ask for fireworks, really and truly. Right now, we just need stability to take it to the next level. Obviously, we need two options really minimum to take it to the next level, a number 8 and a striker. Then it becomes a depth thing. You know, right now Arsenal, as I said, we're relearning football. We're unlearning bad habits, and learning good habits. And the next step is for us to be able to, I don't know, let's just say, you know, we've been playing 4 at the back. Let's just say, for example, I'm not saying we should be doing it, but Arteta might say, do you know what? The Liverpool game's a bit of a different one. We're switching to a back 3, and that could happen. But then you would see us lacking fluidity and certain elements, and that comes to probably down to the standard these players are at this moment. So to go to that next level, it becomes that really, you know, because it's been a bit elementary. We got one game a week. We can pick the same side. We can kind of operate with a small squad. Saying that, the games have been coming thick and fast. You have been seeing injuries, etc., etc., etc. The performances are getting better. Well, they've got better. You know, as I've always said, you know, for a time, I couldn't see you know, they said trust the process, but if it was a building, I couldn't see no scaffolding. I couldn't see no materials being there. I couldn't see any site managers. I couldn't see any plumbers, any laborers. Now I'm seeing that, you know, the project manager, which probably Arteta, but I would say for this example, Edu, the jury's still out. The company that's won the plot or the business to build this new set of flats is Kroenke, and that I still don't know whether you lot are the most ethical business and you lot want to be serious. But you know, your project manager, I believe in Mikel Arteta and how he's got the workers operating, which are the players, we're doing all right at this moment in time. I can't really complain. You know, let's just keep making sure that the plumbing is being laid, where, you know, we're putting paint on the walls, etc., etc. And then hopefully come summer, can start, once the foundations are in, you make sure you ain't got no asbestos, there's clean water, there's running, you know, there's clean water, there's running electricity and all of the basic necessities. Then we can start talking about PS5, surround sound, etc., etc. And for me, that would be that number 9 who can do it all. That wavy number 8 where, you know, none of these players are the same. And I know Odegaard's getting into that realm to be that sort of guy, but I miss seeing Santi Cazorla, someone on that sort of stuff in the middle of the park. Historically, assess Fabregas there, you know. I miss seeing those even Jack Wilshere, them magicians in the middle of the park. I feel we'll go up a level there, really. So yeah, man, we still got a long way to go, but building blocks. And this is all, speaking for myself, it's not all I want to see, because I don't just like participating for the sake of it, but these are things that have robbed us. And for me, one thing I do like the most is that Arsenal, at least for now, Arsenal are never, you know, we're never 2 weeks away from a crisis in it, really and truly. The same people that would praise Arteta for getting top 4 in August, bro, they will, if you fuck about, they're onto you, you know, don't get twisted, you know, they're onto you. I just feel we need to just keep going, man. We're, you know, just keep going. But we're making this some Arsenal tribute thing. One love to everybody tuned in. What would we say that was? Let's say that's about 23, 40. Don't forget, as you know, people, I'm going to be live on Twitch later, 7:30 p.m. We're going to be doing a watch along, obviously, for the Champions League. But before that, it's only right. You know the vibes. Where is it? Sorry, people. There it is. We're going live at 11:30. Arteta's been linked with Pochettino. Arteta's been linked with PSG and replacing Pochettino. Only as good as your last game, 100%. And for me, I'll give us the praise. Not OTT in the same way. When they were doing shit, deserved licks. Now they're doing all right. It's all right, sort of thing. So yeah, it is what it is where that's concerned, man. DG, thoughts on playing Odegaard as an 8 and getting Maddison? I've been thinking about this for a while now. I think with Odegaard's improving and that, I think he could do it. I feel I see Odegaard being our David Silva or that Santi Cazorla. I do think for the greater good of Odegaard, we could sacrifice his individuality for the betterment of the team. I do think he could be a number 8, a conductor, do that sort of Xhaka role differently, but do that sort of Xhaka role. Equally, that being said, I like him exactly where he's playing, but I want different options. As I said yesterday, there might be games Smith Rowe and Odegaard can play as 8s, or none of them play, or both play, or you go with 3 6s, or 2 8s and a 10, or everybody's a 10, according to the game and the midfield we're going up against. Accordingly, people, really and truly. So there's options there. I can't lie, though. As much as I say that, though, just based on the positions I see Maddison take up and on occasion for Leicester, you could argue he could play as the 8. And Odegaard a bit further forward. Santi needs a statue. Ooh, steady. I know Arsenal fans with the bars on the floor, and I respect Santi and that, but statue, nah, he ain't even got a fucking Arsene Wenger statue up there. So, like, what we did, like, it's no longer just sideways passing. There's confidence as well. There's evidently a serious confident element. And for me, one thing I like is it seems like there's a consistency regardless of the result. Previously, I've sat here on this YouTube channel or Twitch channel, better yet, apologies, and said, or you lot have seen it, how many times historically there'll be one half. You look at these players like, right, how you lot can even play Sunday League. Them same man, like I'm talking about the player you rate the least. That same done in the second half. You're seeing him spray a couple passes and move him mad. So you know yourselves what potential, what confidence can do for you potentially. And I see a bit of that. And for me, I felt our confidence was a bit too volatile. And it's still there elements. I go back to the Liverpool game where for 20 minutes at home, we're on it, we conceded, and it's like we went, oh, I'm upset, I feel sorry for myself, etc., etc. And again, we need to react to that. But it feels like regardless of whether we've made a mistake or we're doing well or whatever, there's a sort of medium balance. So I would actually say the best improvement I've seen is mentally, because that's what helps. You know, if you want to be a better footballer, yeah, you need to do more kick-ups and make your touch better and make sure your passing is more crisper. But none of that is going to better if the upstairs doesn't. If you don't make better decisions, if you don't have increased speed or thought, nothing's going to be dead. You know, if you could do 1 million step overs but you got no brain, if suddenly you realize, okay, after I do 1 million step overs, 1,000,001, let me get my head up and pass decisions. And I think we're making better decisions. We're thinking a bit better. So I'd say the best improvement I've seen with Mikel Arteta and Arsenal right now, which again, May is not here. I need to see you do this for years. I need to see you respond to setback, which you have. In August, you respond to setback. You know, you lot told us you're working internally, trust the process. All these things that really, you know, as a fan, it's meaning nothing because I hear that, but man are looking shit week in, week out. Like, you know. So they have kind of doing it, but I'm keen to see now that everybody's on the same hint sheet, when we do go through that adversity, how long is it going to last? The fans are the fans in it. Like I said, 2 weeks away from being a crisis or whatever, but the players, when things go wrong. So we're going to have to see. 1 second, people. Someone's being inconsiderate. 1 second. How can I do it? You can hear this on the screen. Okay, we got rid of the inconsiderateness. Sorry, folks. We're back again. But yeah, that's what I'm saying. Winning breeds confidence, but confidence comes from within, bro. Like you always hear me say, and I don't say it for no reason. I try and use this in my own life. You're never when things are going bad, you're never as bad as you think you are. When things are going good, you're not as good as you think you are. Don't believe your own hype. Don't believe what they say negatively. If we believed what these lot said negatively, even us fans, you know, this is why I say you need to believe in yourself. Fans, we're loyal to the club. We're not loyal to what Arteta is or these players. We love them when they're doing well. Let's be real. If you're behaving shaky, there's a dodgy thing. Internally, they kept doing what they was doing. They believed in whatever they was doing, or even at times Arteta must have lost confidence in himself. He still projected something. So it is what it is. Always behave like you've got a point to prove, really and truly. The minute you start to believe your own hype, which I do think we at times we're guilty of, but we've not achieved nothing. You ain't got top four. You ain't done it for years. You ain't returned Arsenal to what it used to be. We ain't gone that step of not just qualifying for the Champions League, but actually trying to do some serious business in it. Is what it is. These players do look hungry to win, you know, and I would say these players look hungry to prove themselves again to the manager, in the league, to the club. A lot of them haven't really done anything in their careers. Yeah, you can look at Partey, Granit. They've played at top levels for a while. They've gone to tournaments and they've done things, but generally, and Odegaard's been at Real Madrid and is a captain for his country at Norway. But generally, if you lot retire tomorrow, obviously it's harsh. What have you lot done in the game? You know, Mikel Arteta, what is he giving in the game? You know, I'm sure he wants to, not that he can write this hype, but I'm sure he wants to live up to it. All these spreadsheets and this and that, all the propaganda, I'm sure he wants to prove himself. The players, none of them have done nothing in the game. And that's where I like that there's some hunger. And the few existing players that remain, they did what they're doing. Of course, they've won the FA Cup, fair play. But for for a lot of these players, that was the first. The one Arteta won was their first opportunity of such, and not everybody's done that. What's Ramsdale won for Arsenal? What's Tomiyasu? For example. But I hear you though. Pardon me. Better decision making, man, and long may it continue. In it, we're getting out of the hood, man. Maddison states his best position is playing as an 8. I'm not 100% convinced though. His free kicks, his fire would add another dimension. Broccoli Guna, shout out to you. Interesting, he says that, and I can see him with the ability to do it because he gets in the pockets, he gets on the ball. Defensively, he's never going to be amazing, but he puts in the shift. I think he could do it. And I know he plays 10 at Leicester, but the modern day, as you know, there's not really organic 10s and that per se. I hear it. I'm slightly feeling confident about Liverpool tomorrow. I think we'll draw. I don't know till tomorrow, bro. I'm just humble thing, man. That humble thing. Let's just see what's going on. Like that Liverpool, them games there, I need to see the first 10, don't I? Only as good as your last game. DG, in all honesty, after the City result, are you expecting to get rolled over tomorrow? Boy, I'm in the same way Palace did a thing. I'm hoping that, the footballing gods bless us and the magic happens and we get blessed and the footballing gods bless us and what looks like Liverpool can draw closer ground. Arsenal pull off a great result, grabbing 3 points, boosting our title challenges. Man said title. I'm definitely deluded in that regards, man. Top 4, top 4 is a trophy, top 4 challenges and things. But boy, I'm expecting to see our even more angry Liverpool. And as I said, I want to see how he responds. Because if I go in this game, one thing, if I'm an Arsenal player, I'd expect to concede. Not that I want to concede, but Liverpool score goals. Liverpool have hit us for 6. Liverpool on the best of days will score goals. You probably need to outscore them. Such is football. So reactions. And as I said, we was on it for 21 minutes in the cup. 22nd minute, the goal's gone in by Jota. Liverpool, who were playing quite shit by their own standards, you could see their players going, listen, fix up now. Let's go. For us, it looked like we started to feel sorry for ourselves. Like, everything we've worked on all week and it was working for 20 minutes. It's not working now. Like, bro, it's not adapting. It's not adapting at all. So let's see what's going on, man. We started with Marie holding Kolasinac and Xhaka pulling a madness every week. It's down to the players and how they gelled. Arteta's playing them to their strengths. We knew this team had quality even when we were bottom. I don't know, man. I knew there was little bits and pieces, man. But, boy, Edu's the only one that's left to still prove himself fully. I'll give him till the summer. I'll give him credit for some of what he's been doing. He's had a part in the summer, but it's just like, all right, cool. If Arteta leaves tomorrow, obviously he's won the FA Cup, but that's not the first thing I think of. I think, all right, cool. You've let your nuts hang. Pause. You've made some rightly or wrongly. You've done the zero tolerance thing. Whether we could mold that a bit is another thing. But you've done the zero tolerance thing. You've changed the way the club is moving on and off the field, the togetherness, the synergy, what we transmit. There's that. He's promoting good habits. He's won an FA Cup. That's your little legacy, The players are still developing theirs, but I think everyone's kind of finding it cushy what a couple of these players have brought. Where it looks at Edu now, I'm like, you can't claim Martinelli, which some people give you credit for because it weren't a you thing. You wanted Neto, and it might have banged. Emerson Royal and Neto might have banged in some reality. Now, reality is we thank our lucky stars that clearly Mikel Arteta saved us from that one. They're in it, people. So you're looking a bit booky, and every now and again you see tweets and stuff resurfacing of his time in Brazil and that. What was the club he's at with Brazil? Was it Corinthians? They're telling him to sign a striker. Some people are not necessarily happy with his work in the Brazil national team, respectfully as well. Like, that's what I thought. Sometimes it comes down to who's in the phone book. I ain't really seeing nothing. Like, you've got him to bed with Kaya Jarutkin and he's not even rating you. He's shagging. Like, Cedric's doing all right, but bro, you got him until he's contracted until 2024. You're bringing in Marie, but someone got twang for William, which Arteta, you clearly wanted him as well. But yeah, man, I don't know. Eddie might be stealing a living. I'm sure internally there's a lot of good things he does and all them thing there. But as an ignorant fan that can only see what's in front of me, I don't know yet. I don't know. The jury's still out. Still got to learn about you. I don't know what you're on. Like, respectfully, I don't know. Like, it's not evident. Even if I look at our neighbours Spurs, not that they're anything to scream and shout about, but that Italian brother come in, you're seeing them bring in couple. Well, he brought in Conte. They're linked with a couple players that, if you're Italian or you're watching Serie A, you can kind of get it. Thank God they didn't grab a Tomiyasu. You know, they linked with Singo like us, who I think looks better in the back. Probably at this moment in time, probably suits Spurs a bit better because they play a back three. I think he's another one. We just spoke about relearning and education, and that I feel Singo, the Torino boy, lad, he's like Tavares in the sense of the man there, madman going forward defensively, puts in a shift, and he's better defensively than Tavares. He's just a madman. And you know, madman gives you heart attacks. But winning does breed confidence, man. Would you sign Kessié? Not really, you know. I've said it before. I'm not really on the Kessié thing. He's a baller. Don't get it twisted. But I just feel him and Partey in midfield. It's a good option, 260s, but I'm not really on it. Still, free transfer, you can't go wrong though. But I'm not really on it, man. I mean, I can only speak for myself, you know. I can only speak for myself. I think I'm pretty damn humble. I do think, you know, naturally people don't count their chickens before it hatches. But Alex, I do think people don't like to see Arsenal fans happy, and that's cool. But I do think there's people that go over the top in all fan bases, you know. But then there's just people are allowed to be happy about how, regardless of what happens, just what they're seeing with their team. I think there's too much of that. You know, when Arsenal are walloping in misery, no one tells them to stop being negative. So no one's telling fans to be happy as long as there's balance, really and truly. You're right, being humble. Fans are allowed to be confident. You know, they are allowed to be confident. You're right, the season isn't over and we haven't done anything, but they're allowed to be confident. When it, you know, when it filters off into arrogance, there's an issue. You know, I think fans are allowed to be optimistic. You didn't miss the stream with Graham. It didn't happen, mate. It didn't happen. Obviously, you know, I'm pretty sure if you're on the schedules, you know, me and Graham tried to get it done a couple of weeks ago. And then obviously, I don't know why you would schedule that. But, you know, happened to say BT was doing work yesterday. To be fair, he did try and reschedule. But I think something happened on the train. Either someone was on the train tracks or whatever, was meant to go live at 3. Obviously, I was going live at 4:30 after that, and then he shouted me at like 3:45 or something. So it just wasn't possible. But waiting his reply now. Don't think he's a happy bunny. I asked him, "Are you free on Thursday?" That was yesterday at 4:52. If he replies, he replies. If not, is what is that's day in life for the content creator. You know, they say same thing happened with Hugh Izzy. Hugh's done that about 3 or so times, so I'm never gonna ask him again. That's the one jarring thing, being a content creator, because it breaks my heart. This is why I don't like to do the promotion thing. Like, I like to just, if I'm doing a collab with someone, just bring it out, because when I tell you that we're live at 3, you lot come here at 3 and then it's not there, it looks like I'm selling dreams, and it pees me off. And then I personally, I can't lie, I start looking at people differently, because I know mistakes happen, things happen, but it's like, if you don't value my time, as I always say, you don't value me, you know. And things happen, you know, every now and again things happen, but when it happens 2-3 times, you're taking a piss, aren't you? So I do think, respectfully, I do think there's certain content collabs you will never see from me. But yeah, anyways, Edu's rubbed. Give him the benefit of the doubt, man. Big up. Yeah, but as I said, you know, again, there's a confidence and arrogance. They live in the same realm. If you're humble and you're confident because you're showing reasons why not, you know, if you're arrogant, anyone in life, arrogance has a sell-by date. And as I said, I do think there's fans that just, Arsenal fans are not allowed to be happy. Appreciate my JA Tugs. I really believe we are going to get something from the Liverpool game. I hope so, man. I hope so. But we need to go out there. You know, I would say we need to raise our games, need to raise our standards significantly higher, purely because that's the levels. You know, you don't get 11 minutes to switch on like you did against Wolves. You don't get to just mess about. Well, not even mess about, but the game was won against Brentford. We're dropping our standards. You don't get to kind of start the game kind of booky like you did against Watford. You need to raise your levels. And if I'm real, we need to chase that perfect 90 minutes, control games better. Yeah, we got a clean sheet in our last game, but I still think we could do a bit better defensively, better in recent weeks. Even really in the last 4 or so games, we've not kept the clean sheets we needed to. So standards have to rise. And as I said, a degree of fearlessness, because what can be written about you? Respectfully, they're going to say the same old things. You lack heart, you bottled, you know. So it's all about how you lose. I do think Arsenal fans do too much. Like, it's not that I couldn't believe it, but it's almost like, allow it, man. Like, it's doing too much when we lost to City. Like, we still lost, bro. Like, you, man, the language coming out by content creators, by the club, by Sky Sports, we lost, bro. Like, obviously, commemorative win. Like, we tried very hard, but we lost. Nah, we lost. Like, it's as simple as that. We lost 2-1. We didn't get banged with the cricket score. Yes, there was an element of injustice potentially with certain decisions, but we lost. And arguably, when I watched the game again without emotions, did we lose necessarily because of these other factors? Potentially. But when you look at the goal in the build-up, Xhaka has tried to track the runner against City. Why is he tracking the runner? Why isn't everybody switched on? And then Xhaka's done Xhaka things. The last goal they've scored, Ben White and Rob Holding against Laporte and I believe Rodri. Why have they not won their 1v1s? Rodri and that wanted it more than you lot. And even in that, who put the ball into the box? Kevin De Bruyne. We was down to 10 men, yes, but there was a 30 seconds to a minute. Kevin De Bruyne has the ball on this right-hand side, looking down, no one challenging him, aiming. The City are trying to grab a goal. They're trying to do this thing. Is what it is. And let's be honest as well, not to water it down, but these are true things. City had 2 games that week, and you could see they were lacking energy levels. They bucked a team that's buzzing. You know, that's going to be us. Definitely, I hope Premier League winners, but that's going to be us. We might have 2 games in a week and play an enthusiastic team trying to put people right. You know, Leicester were dealt a shorthand with injuries and all these sort of things, but they played 2 games. Then, you know, the Thursday and obviously the Sunday. That's going to be us next year, by God's grace. So we need to adapt and get into that sort of thing. Bloody hell, man, you lot are making this an Arsenal thing. Why not? Why not? I'm not going to complain, but jeez, Louise. Why not, man? Get a draw against Liverpool tomorrow. Big W for the Manchester clubs. Well, I'll take a point. Still, like, humble pie tomorrow. I mean, if we lose, we lose, man. Yeah, it's long. Just keep on going. Content is great. Those who appreciate will make time. Come on, my guy. We keep going. That's why I can't lie. I prefer to do this thing on my J's, man. Like, I just find it easier, man. When you just, because again, obviously, not only is it time, you're doing this full time. Like, this is it. Like, this is how bills are paid. So it's like, obviously, if you're messing about with the time or whatever, like, I have to be even more serious. We're playing for keeps, innit? So it's almost like before I start to dislike people, you get it. So it is what it is. Liverpool won't let the game dictated by Arsenal's terms. Exactly. Is Salah a doubt? I think they're going to do the Houdini and Salah will be about. But even if Salah's not there against Crystal Palace, they never had Zaha. When we were shaky against Brighton, they never had Basuma. There's been times we've got wins where we haven't necessarily had key players. And Liverpool, obviously, you know, only 11 players can play, and Liverpool are getting some good depth options. You know, you can't play everyone, whether it's the young G's, Naby Keita, Thiago, you know, Jota, who's probably unfortunate to be on the bench. All these guys, you know, there's only 11 players, so other people can stand up to be counted. And on that, brother, like, respectfully, it's them lacking Salah isn't the least of their problems, but on the way he's playing, boy, you got Mane, savage against us. Diaz, you can't be a Liverpool attacker really in the last few years if you're not on stat padding against Arsenal. Probably going to be hard to be on that, etc., etc. But at the same time, I'll be real. So what? Well, you can't always play relegation teams with injured players. So what, man? Liverpool have a fantastic team. They're with a fantastic gaffer. They're better than us. It's a game of fine margins. It's a game where probably we won't win. Raise it, because these are the games you see your standards, because you might play a stray pass and all of these sort of things, you know, against other teams, you get away with it. This is where you see your true level, you know. Make it difficult. What I want to see is a healthy respect for Liverpool, but not an over respect. So it is what it is, man. The Liverpool match comes at the right time for the Gunners. Since that City first half, this will be a good test to see how far you've come. Even that, the true test will be what we look like a year from now. Because even if we beat City, we couldn't draw conclusions. If we lose to City, which we did, you shouldn't draw conclusions. If we beat Liverpool, what does it mean? If we lose, what does it mean? Obviously, there's evident things. It's a boost to the top 4 shouts. It's a good look and all these things, but it doesn't mean much. What I would like is to win, because, brother, it's been rubbish against us, fam. Like, you know, I don't want to celebrate losing 2-1, because, man, I'm not going to look back in 5 years' time if you ask me to check our recent performances and I say, oh, but that 2-1 was better than this 2-1. And, it's still an L. Like, and we still have a terrible record against the top teams. It's dead, man. I don't know. I feel like they need another left-footed winger to play on the right to balance it a bit. But saying that, Jota can leng it with both feet. Being picky, man. No, I don't think anyone's talk. You can't talk like Liverpool or scrubs. And don't forget, when you play Liverpool, you're playing VAR as well. So I got to get them in already. You know, Trent's going to kick someone again and do the Johnny Big Balls. Look at me. I'm Liverpool. I'm a tough guy. And not get any action. But yeah, it is what it is. Away from all of that, though, folks, obviously, let's look at the Champions League and the rest of it, people. You know, as much keep your Arsenal comments coming if you wish. You're right, Teeny does need. Everybody needs a big game. We're not going to win, lose, or draw this with one man. Yeah, the headlines might show someone scoring or someone's fantastic save or someone's fantastic tackle. But boy, last time I checked, as you know, football is a squad game. I have to be picky, bro. I want Liverpool to have a statement win. I can't lie. Fair play. Raw. Man United cheering on Liverpool. Fair enough, how the great are fallen. It's been a while, DG, but do you think the team's heads will drop when down? I hope not. I hope not. I really hope not, you know. And we went down. Fuck out here, G1. It's too early, man. You're not, you know what? You're not bringing me to the ring. You're not bringing me to the ring. Atletico, please do your business. But yeah, obviously, as you know, it's Champions League settings. Like, apparently, Bruno Fernandes and McTominay are back. You'd hope Atletico win, but it's just made for CR7, isn't it? Really and truly, people. It's just made for CR7. Obviously, you've got Juventus to play as well. No, you have Chelsea, Lille, which, provided they're actually able to get to the damn ground, could be an interesting one for them. Champions League. I mean, respectfully, you know, you'd expect Juventus to beat Villarreal, even though it's all to play for. It's 1-1. Chelsea are winning 2-0. You'd expect them to finish the job. Ajax versus Benfica finished 2-2. It's anyone's bet. Atletico and Manchester United drew 1-1. Now, first things first, I would love to see better football because it was a horrible watch, man. Neither team really tried to play. Again, Rashford, your decision making, I think that will always stay with me for life. Just seeing that gang of Atletico shirts. Bare free space here. So a man goes, let me run back into it. Like, hey, well, like, talk about playing with fire and complaining you're burning. It's crazy, mate. So yeah, man. Again, Champions League, it's the bum fixtures this week, isn't it? Like, it's the bum fixtures. You'd love to see us get back to normal procedures where that's concerned. It is what it is, though, man. So I'd imagine United win. It's just set up for Ronaldo to pattern, but I don't know what's going to happen at Old Trafford, really. I would love Atletico to do it. You know, there's no supporting English teams and all that malarkey bullshit. So it is what it is. Away from that, though, apparently Chelsea forced to keep sponsor-free on matchday shirts due to special governing license. Chelsea have to keep the sponsor-free on the front of their matchday shirts in order to meet the terms of the special license they received from the UK government. The Premier League club are unable to print new kits as severe operational restrictions have been imposed on the club, obviously following the UK government's decision to freeze Roman Abramovich's assets. The Free logo, however, remains on their shirt. Free remains keen for the logo to be removed, which has left Chelsea and kit manufacturers Nike to hold conversations as to how the issue can be resolved. The British telecommunications company are not planning to take any legal action as it understands Chelsea are going through a difficult time due to the ownership issues. But they're keen for their sponsorship to be put on hold rather than cancelled as a new ownership, you know, tide is set up on us. So let's see what goes on there. As I said, people, Bruno Fernandes and Scott McTominay allegedly are back for the Champions League. Yesterday I spoke about it, but apparently the FA is to increase prize money for the women's FA Cup to $3 million per season. Pardon me. Chelsea fans have been told to stop chanting Roman Abramovich's name by Boris Johnson, or better yet, the Prime Minister's spokesperson. I mean, on one hand, you could say that, but on the other hand, bloody hell, are you lot going to be the morality police? You know, Boris Johnson, I will never accept the way you've referred on numerous occasions to black folk, many ethnic minorities, and how you've carried on. You can suck your mum, mate. And I don't want to agree with Chelsea fans on anything. On the topic of Chelsea are in daily talks with the government over ticket sales as they warn of sporting integrity issues. Come on, that's a fancy bit of malarkey for listen. We're already losing out on money, mate. We need money. And the UK government's capping. There's no way they will let this run on quicker than it needs to. The government needs Chelsea. Fundamentally, clubs, they get around it, but Chelsea bring taxes. Or better yet, Chelsea's employees pay taxes. That's the footballers obviously booging it a bit. The common people, 9 to 5ers like you and I, they're paying taxes. If you lose, if they lose their jobs, someone's got to pick it up. I don't know if people are going to claim. You described it as a cultural asset, not to mention tourism. Tourism again brings money into this economy. Because obviously, if you're an American or Chinese or Caribbean or whatever, and you support Chelsea or whatever club, yeah, you're gonna go to Chelsea, buy a ticket, buy a shirt, money that's gonna be pumped into Chelsea, but you're not just gonna come from your country and not eat. You're gonna have to eat. 9 times out of 10, you're going to have to get some sort of transport, whether you're renting a car, whether you're getting on the train, which again, service-led economy, you're pumping money into this economy. You might say, do you know what? Before, I'm never going to be back in London. Chelsea go over there and play in Southwest. Let me go to Central, to Oxford Circus, run up and down and buy some stuff to go back. They're not going to leave Chelsea like that. As I said, as much as I want Chelsea to fall off, the only way Chelsea fall off is if their owner just fucks it up. Their government it's not no government takes over it. It's going to go down the toilet and things. I do sympathize with honest football fans that just are being denied the chance to represent their football club by just supporting. I've told you lot before, many moons ago, man, where mentally I was a shambles, really. Like, I was very upset. Life wasn't worth living. I'll be real with you lot, The Emirates provided a somewhat safe haven for man. Like, it just... Like, I don't know Joe Bloggs there, but just standing there, you felt like you're part of something. So if there's any football fan that feels like that, that's yearning for that, I feel sorry for them as much as I can be for Chelsea fans. But Chelsea are in talks with the British government over opening ticket sales back up, obviously. And yeah, man, we'll see what's going on there, really. We have to wait for more info where that's concerned. So that's that article. That's that. Well, apparently Wolves is on loan. Barcelona winger Francisco Trincao believes he deserves to play more. He's also said that he believes he's doing great things without being rewarded on the score sheet. You playing all right. Listen, you're too meaty for me to talk about this. But you know what, we started. I'm working to do that. I'm doing my best for the coach to think that I should play more. It's his decision. I have to respect it. Of course, I think I deserve more, and I'm trying to do that and show that every day. If you just look for the end product, maybe you can say that we haven't seen the best of me. But if you look at football in terms of the whole game, you can say I'm doing great things. Bars on the floor, bars in hell. Because you're decent with both feet. You're a good dribbler, and you make 1-2 chances. Allow it, man. But normally people just look for end product, which you're right. But I'm trying to improve on that because I know it will give me the tools to be better and make people look at me different. Yeah. You're too much of a dud to be for me to anyways to keep reading this thing. Crazy. But yeah, it is what it is. Bro, Boris can shut that hell up, bro. Boris and that can demonize them Russian dons as much as he wants, bro. Their man, they're not clean either. Bloody hell, the Tories. I do find it funny when these politicians and old guards, they start doing the morality police and things like that. Can't lie, Carragher got bodied on Twitter. He caught in a web where he was hypocritical when it came to the discussion and apologized. What Jamie Carragher said, sorry. But these man, I told you, these man, they don't have integrity, man. They just come out and waffle. Rah. He said, sorry. Pressure. Chelsea fans pressured you. You got pressured by some Tories. Hey, you got pressured. Where is all of that now, man? Let's actually... We're going to be here for a minute. That's the Jamie Carragher business. Boy, pressure. Ross, tell him, a Man United supporter that prefers full spot over Liverpool pushing for their next step. Bro, these men are crazy. My brother's a gooner. You liar. Hey, throw this guy to the wolves, man. Can't lie, I like Trincao. He's a baller, but like, man said Carragher spits on kids, so his opinion don't matter. Don't mind. Bloody hell. Let's actually see what this Donny has actually said, people, because to this day, I don't know specifically. I just know he said something. DG, would you go on Sky Sports or offered? If no, why not, man? Why not? Why wouldn't I? Depends what for, though. Well, I don't think I'm ever gonna have to worry about getting offered that, man. Who cares? Because I love Twitch and YouTube same way. Shout out to you lot. We can throw our money around and get who we want. Jamie Carragher, this is We're gonna go in chronological order, people. We can throw our money around and get who we want. Jamie Carragher slams Chelsea fans for being hypocritical after he received backlash following his claims that Manchester United should target Blues boss Thomas Tuchel. And the logic behind getting Tuchel wasn't bad, but I mean, as I said, bloody hell, it's getting excited. Like, you know, it's not going to be a thing where there could be a max exodus, but Chelsea are crippled by the government and then everybody's just fleeing and Stamford Bridge burns to the ground. You know, as much as I would like Chelsea to be no more, that's not a thing, you know. So I don't know where this conversation, and again, that just came because man, like, he knows this, his bosses know that, but just because of the simple football fan, just seeing Man United should target Thomas Tuchel, that's going to drive engagement. And you do these things, these men lack integrity. You know, every fan, Chelsea, Arsenal, United, every football fan's a hypocrite. I know fans like to think they're better than another group of people and things. Everyone's a flipping hypocrite and emotional. Anyways, Jamie Carragher has accused some Chelsea fans of being hypocritical after he received backlash for suggesting Manchester United should make an approach for Thomas Tuchel. I'm going to scroll the way down, people. I want to see specifically what's said and not all this tosh. Speaking on Sky Sports, he said, "It's fair to say I had a few heated discussions at Stamford Bridge yesterday, and the Chelsea supporters, the same as any set of supporters, are very passionate about their club. At this moment, feel like the world is attacking them and they're defending their club." I mean, anyone that sees it as an attack against Chelsea, it's not that. It's an attack against Abramovich and it's collateral damage, really and truly. You know, I do find it, you know, looking at what's going on in the world, there's teams not the same. It doesn't matter about people dying. It's my football club. I wouldn't say Chelsea are dying. That they might stagnate. There's question marks over the ownership. I wouldn't say they're dying. Or in May, this will be wrapped up. Like, and Chelsea might fall off, but it won't be because of this Russia thing. Because again, if Chelsea wasn't in England, there'd be a thing. UK government can't allow Chelsea to fail. Like, at this moment, beyond their own means. If Chelsea fell, it has to be at their own devices. So it is what it is. I wouldn't change my opinion on it. And the reason I think it's a little bit hypocritical of Chelsea supporters, because if teams, whether that's Manchester United thinking they can go get their manager or people thinking they can get Chelsea players, they're going to take advantage of the situation. Chelsea have been doing that for 20 years, fair play. That was the big thing of Roman Abramovich. We can throw our money about and we can get who Arsene Wenger said we shouldn't have got it moving. We're going to go to Manchester United. There's a money-making machine, and we want to become that. We'll go and get their best CEO, Peter Kenyon. He's right. We'll go to Liverpool and get the best midfielder in Europe. They were close to getting Gerrard and destabilize that club for 2 summers. Didn't get him. We'll get Ashley Cole invincible. Won everything at Arsenal. Yeah, we'll go get him. We'll get caught. He's not wrong in what he's saying there necessarily. I don't agree with his comments generally, but he's right. England's flying at the time with Sven Eriksson, England manager. No, we want him as Chelsea manager. Don't worry. What's he doing with England? We'll have him and we'll pay them that fine. Don't worry. And he's right. You know, it is what it is. Chelsea have been doing great things. You know, they've dominated the youth team. You know, great catchment area from Surrey all the way to England. I mean, that's dumb. From Surrey all the way to London. You know, that's what helps them on top of just being amazing. And Chelsea did it. If you want to be an elite club or do elite things, you have to ruffle a few feathers and do the somewhat humble takeover thing, which I don't think anything Chelsea have done wrong with what he has said, but the whole spending of money. I don't think what Jamie Carragher so far has said is wrong. You know, without Abramovich, you probably don't see a lot of things in the game, really and truly, with this money thing and whatnot. They win the FA Youth Cup every year, or they get to the final, not because they have the best coaches or the best academy, because they basically go and take the best players from every club in this country, relocate the family, and give the dad a scouting job. You're not wrong, but you're not right. Every club does that. You go and look at Manchester United, Arsenal, etc., etc. Half of these players have been picked up by cat-free clubs and whatnot. It happens. Luton's academy gets clapped all the time. We got Paterno from them. We got Wilshere from them. You know, as I said, you have to. I respect what Chelsea do. They find the best talent locally. You know, they find the best talent. Like I said, they get the best Londoners. They can do the target surrounding regions because of where Cobham and Surrey is, and naturally they. Like City, they bring in the best sort of players elsewhere, whether that's players at Derby, Charlton, the cat-free clubs. I can't, you know. He can't think that. Stop spamming my guy, man. Chill out, bro. Like, there's no need to spam. We can see what you're saying. Relax, man. if you want to be the best academy, you have to have the best internally or recruit. So I do think they win because they've got some of the best coaches. You're going to find the best coaches. City wanted to replicate Barca's model, so they got a couple of the best that they could do it. That was about, half of these players. You look at half the players at Norwich. You look at, we take Amari Hutchinson. Hudson-Odoi was technically at Charlton at a point. Chelsea ain't done nothing wrong, and every club does that. We want your son. Come to us. We'll give you your money. We'll give you a signing on bonus. What you got a daughter? Nothing to do with football. We'll send her to private school. You need a job? We do it, and that's the dynamics of football. We all know teams like Chelsea, Arsenal, United. We'll buy you from your club for 100 to 250,000. What's that? If you make it, you make it. We might make a profit. You go to the first team. If not, what's 250,000? What's 30,000 a year on private school? These are pennies to clubs. So I don't think Chelsea have done anything wrong at all there. And it's a bit of both. They do have some of the best coaches, and you are gonna, if you're in a walk of business, you're going to want to bring in the best people from the four corners of the world, which they do. And you can't say it's not working. What do you expect Chelsea to do? Do the duddery thing? Liverpool. Did Harvey Elliott come through Liverpool's academy? And I'm not criticizing Liverpool. Did he come through their academy? Did Kay Gordon come through their academy, or did they see that Birmingham are broke at West Bromwich Albion? We got a lad from there. Chelsea who obviously got a couple, and saying, you know what, boom, and people been stealing West Brom's players. So I'm not too sure what he's getting at there. It sounds emotional. It's not. Right, again, I'm not here to defend Chelsea, but he's lost me with that one. And everybody does that. You think Man United don't do that? You think Arsenal don't do that? Everybody does that. What's going on? Fucking Barcelona did that. Messi was in Argentina. They said, all right, we'll buy him his tablets. Come to Spain. We'll give your dad a little job or whatever they did. Myth. Anyways, Chelsea Football Club have taken advantage of every other club in the last 20 years because of Abramovich. Yeah, they wanted to shake up things. Respectfully, Chelsea were there before him, but there weren't levels like that. Half of these players technically not signed up by Chelsea, but half of these guys have been there. Brooke, Amari, Smith Rowe, half of Saka temporarily. A lot of these young players, they sign up for clubs, they train with other clubs. They're there. Saka even had a spell at Watford. They're all on the scene. And many others, really and truly. Very often that happens. Hayden was at Southend. If you don't remember Isaac Hayden, who's now at Newcastle. Glenn Kamara was at Southend. Trey Coyle, John Jules were at Charlton as well. Amari technically at Charlton as well. Half of them, you think man just wake up and just play for Chelsea, Arsenal, United, etc. How much man have been taken from Oldham by Man United and City and that? Come on now, man. Clapping man from lower leagues as well. Come on now. I can't lie though. Is this what has provided all this reaction in that? So if I got an opinion on someone taking advantage of them, that's just a fact. It's a way of life. That's the way it may be for Chelsea. They have to accept that. Some of the things with Chelsea in terms of closing the club shop and stopping kids getting Mason Mount on the back of their shirt, I don't agree with that. But if that's my opinion on it, I certainly don't want Chelsea fans next time I go there questioning my opinion, because that's exactly what Chelsea have done done for 20 years. I see what he's saying, but one, if these are the comments, everybody needs to wake up a bit. But crazy. Bangkok player is sacked after attacking an opponent with a sickening Muay Thai elbow, leaving him needing 24 stitches in hospital. Fuck. Crazy, but bloody hell, is it? And this is the same thing, really. Bit of an overkill. Jamie Carragher apologizes to Chelsea fans for getting a little emotional. You man are emotional, bro. Super League showed it. You man are just some emotional brothers. You lot are just emotional. But anyways, where's the sorry thing? Apologies, I got a bit emotional. He's just tired of getting at it. And that's one thing I don't agree with, I don't agree with, people make a point and then everyone just goes and acts them and things like that. I don't agree with your points about Kenyon, Gerrard and Cole. I mean, it is what it is. You know, Cole was a great player. Arsenal were fucking about. You lot wanted to be a winner, paid him the piece. You lot did tap up Gerrard until them Liverpool drillers came. He was ongoing. Peter Kenyon, he's right about that. But the way he's kind of put it sounds a bit mad, but I don't think he's wrong. And at the end of the day, that's what you got to do in any walk of life. If you want to be if you want to recruit the best, you're going to probably try and find the best headhunter you can. I don't know why Chelsea are being killed for that. Anyways, it is what it is. Salah's Liverpool contract talks broken down. Klopp's comments and agent swipe. Contract talks between Liverpool and Salah are believed to have broken down. They're trying to agree him to a new deal. The 29-year-old sources close to his agent have suggested Liverpool's last contract offer, which came towards the end of last year, was rejected out of hand by the player's representative. It is understood no talks have taken place since December, with Abbas making it clear not to come back to the negotiating table, and Salah will not sign a new contract unless improved terms are agreed. And again, in the recent reports, you've heard that Liverpool have no problem giving him a new deal. It's just a fact of they want to do some restructuring of their wages so that it kind of don't hurt them. And as great as Salah is, and it seems like the right decision, and I think Salah will keep going on. They need to prepare for reality without him, because again, if he starts to decline, it is what it is. And you might say he might, even though he's still scoring, there might be some. But yeah, man, that's that. I don't know why I got so many tabs open. Salah allegedly could be a doubt for Arsenal's match after picking up an injury to Brighton. I still think we should be preparing to face him, because then it only gets better past that. I don't agree with... I feel sorry for Thomas Tuchel having to answer questions that are above his remit. He should not be asked on, pardon me, what's going on geopolitically, how that affects Chelsea. I mean, Chelsea either need to come with a spokesperson or someone higher above needs to speak. I feel sorry for Tuchel. Equally, I feel sorry for Eddie Howe. Obviously, man, are human. They can offer their own opinions and talk. But at the same time, what is Eddie Howe meant to say about what's going on with the owner of Newcastle, and obviously what's going on with human rights stuff? So he's there as well, man. He just needs to focus on football, really, in my opinion. Close that. Allegedly, Tottenham chief Fabio Paratici is fully committed and enthusiastic about their project with Conte and Levy, despite PSG making contact with him as they look to part ways with sporting director Leonardo. Apparently, he's not even 12 months into an 18-month deal and he wants to stay. Wait, PSG, the drip could be raising. I mean, that's one thing I'd like to see. If you leave, if Conte leaves, well, not you, if Conte leaves, then Spurs could go further down the toilet. So there's that. Speaking of Spurs, Tottenham striker Kane insists Conte still has his and his teammates backing. I mean, you have to back Conte. He's you man's fault. It's not really his. Obviously, I still feel like we're in the process. We went 2 or 3 years challenging for trophies, and then we dropped off over the last couple of years. With Antonio, he's building a culture that he wants to be and wants to put us back in place. So it seems like Kane is happy to be there. And the Premier League is such fine lines between challenging or being top 4, being 6th, 7th, or 8th. Every year, teams is getting better, and there are no easy games. Of course, the manager is working as hard as he can, and the players are. It's not a quick fix that happens overnight. It takes time and understanding. Of course, he's mentioned he needs to talk to the club and the chairman to see what direction we need to go in as a club. From my point of view, the player's point of view, we can't speak highly enough of him. He said, I'm only focused on the running. I'm the first to look at my own standards. In the Premier League, towards the first few months or so, I wasn't at the standard that I was trying to reach. It was no time to panic or sulk. It was time to work hard. And since Conte's come in, we've had a good understanding. Sorry, people, one sec. Yeah, anyways, apologies. We have a good understanding with each other as a player. If you're improving under a coach, that's the most important thing. So he feels confident in where the club's going. He feels confident in the gaffer. I don't know if City will go back in for you. It looks like it's Haaland FC time. So get used to the Spurs thing, innit? It's when you're there and not where you're going to be and where the club's going to be. That's the hardest part as a player. I definitely feel like I'm improving and the team is with Conte. That motivates you to be even better. Hopefully we can end the season and give top 4 a real go. Obviously, it's always an aim to get in the Champions League for the club. Personally, you want to be in the best competitions in the world. My focus is on this year. Getting top 4 is the most important goal for us now. There are 11 games left. And if we can get on a run, this is more than possible. That's all I can control. And that's all the manager can control as well. Let's see where we end up. True. Let's move on from that. I mean, that was just for my own reading. Disgraced ex-president Blatter slams rude and disrespectful Furtado, but insists FIFA is not corrupt or a mafia. You bloody all are, mate. You talking? Fuck this, man. I don't even want to see what you got to say. Just gonna upset, man. Manchester United considering all plans to redevelop Old Trafford, including potential demolition of the current stadium. That will take a while, people. It's understood that plans to bulldoze their current home ground to build a modern new version are premature, but they are not ruling out anything as they explore all options available. The club is yet to appoint a developer to work with them, but companies competing for the contract have started offering a variety of options, and club officials are keeping an open mind at this time. So it all depends what the Glazers want, really and truly. You know, it does need modernization. It's an 112-year stadium. I swear. I swear. What did Rant say? I swear he said there's no replay screens in where the pitch is. That could be gas. He might have been running joke, but yeah. Gotze said he wants to play in the Premier League. It's a bit over, mate. Call it a day. I've always made it my mission that I really want to win the Champions League. That would be something I'd like to still achieve. I want to. I don't have to. I think the competition is simply outstanding. I've now made the step out of Bundesliga to Holland to see and experience something new. Did you have a choice? The Premier League with its balanced league also appeals me. I mean, Brentford could deal with you. Why not? Koeman reveals he was sacked as Barcelona coach on a plane by Laporte with the players sat behind him, so the rumours are true. What a way to get going. The way Laporte sacked me, one thing that hurt me about it was that the players were sitting behind us on the plane, but I had to come and sit next to him. He always claims that I'm a club lesson, prove it and act differently. He was a dud though, man. That you needed to go, really. That you sound hurt. All Black is open to a Premier League move, people. Allegedly, he has said the Premier League has strong teams, maybe the strongest. He speaks excellent English. He said, "I don't know what the future will bring, but I'm sure that in any league I would play in, I could play well. I've now been in Spain for 7 years. Let's see. I'm still young. I still have some years in front of me. The most important thing for me is the hope that I do not have a lot of injuries, and then we'll see." Boy, he's been patchy this year, you're right, and he did look booky for Alanga's goal. He's not quite as good as he used to be, really. Spurs could be a good signing for Spurs. United seem cool with De Gea, but the fans aren't happy with his distribution. I like Gotze at PSV, but that's his level now. Shout out the Twitch gang. Demolishing Old Trafford would be detrimental to the ecosystem. Where will all the rats go? Fuck it up. Fuck it up. Why would you ask the one flipping burgers at my... Exactly, bro. Exactly that. Rants has a way with them examples, in it. But boy, already seen this. I mean, I don't care what Gary Neville has to say, man. Neville says Chelsea situation is a wake-up call. I agree with what James said. There's no way Chelsea can go bust. The government are going to have to ease the restrictions if needs be. I can't see how a 3 billion sale can go through in the next 15, 16 days, which apparently the amount of time Chelsea have. I think the government know Chelsea Football Club with their hundreds of years of history, a fan base behind them, an important part of the local community cannot go bust. I agree with that. They're going to have to make sure that a sale goes through. That a new owner is found, and obviously whatever happens with the proceeds is up to the government. Gary never want you aspiring to be part of that government, but it's a massive weight. So when is there going to be conflict of interest? And a massive wake-up call for me and my historical position on new money coming into English football. It's improved the competitive landscape enormously over the last 20 years. I'm a fan of the traditional elite, Arsenal, United, and Liverpool. But I welcome Jack Walker's money at Blackburn, and I welcomed Roman Abramovich's money at Chelsea. And the fact Manchester City have come in and challenged the elite. Are you not going to say Spurs? That's where they spent 60 million on Ndombele. Fair enough. You know, we've got an unbelievable Premier League with great football teams, and we've benefited from that globally. The Premier League is seen as a model for everywhere. I've also seen that when national states have come into English football, they've improved communities around them, as has happened in East Manchester with Manchester City, as hopefully will happen with Newcastle. When that sport washing term has been mentioned, I've maybe seen it naively. Sports washing is a real thing, and again, it's there with Ronaldo. You know, I'm not listen. Everyone, myself included, we're talking about Ronaldo's the GOAT and things. We all know certain allegations that are there with man. So it is what it is, and we all know certain people saying certain people still probably heavy on Abramovich were champion Newcastle's owners or their own owners and things. None of these owners are squeaky clean. All of them have a past. All of them have things we don't know about. As I said, that we could have a positive impact through sport on the communities and local people in the countries that are investing, and that we can make their lives better somehow. And that those states would soften their hard stance on their appalling behaviors, and that we would try and make positive change through sport. And again, not that listen, human rights is a real thing. And clearly we have it better in England. Like, there's certain things that can't happen. But let's not act like England is the moral compass, acting like we're holier than thou, or you lot are holier than thou. You know, what's the difference from the human rights violations to the conflict that this country in America is engineering? One of the highest exports of this country is obviously financial services and services in general. Another one is firearms. What does that tell you? War is profitable. So they're telling you we don't condemn war, we don't condemn violence, but it's okay. We'll sell it to the Middle East, sell it to Africa. We'll probably still sell. When you start knowing about the Rothschilds and that, it's probably English straps on the ground. Everybody's in this thing together, but we're going left. I just think it's very funny where we're drawing the moral compass. Like, and I'm not saying these things are right, myself included. Where do you draw the moral compass? Where do even the very things we're using? A lot of us are hypocrites because, man, we'll do the moral thing and tweet and condemn Roman Abramovich and obviously what's going on with Newcastle and them owners from an iPhone. There's nothing moral about how this was made. If the world was fair, we'd all have a lot more. There's nothing moral about this. The people of Congo should be rich off these things and the minerals, and they're not. Unfortunately, they have some of the worst life expectancies, and that's not fair. That's not nice. There, and you've obviously got Saudi money at Newcastle, so it's not a foreigner thing. What about this fucking country? Why haven't you said American money? I'm sure the Cronkays, the Glazers, etc., FFG, I'm sure them and there didn't get things legitly. So I don't know. It's crazy. It's funny where we draw this moral compass. Very funny where we draw this moral compass, people. But fair enough, man. I'm not gonna go any further on that because it's just not needed, is it, people? Bernardo Silva said it's better to be in City's position than Liverpool's. We couldn't score and we should have scored. 9 games to go, but it's still better to be in our position than in Liverpool's, and they have to play in our stadium, so it's going to be exciting. It's never easy to play any team away in the Premier League. It's always better to win than draw, and we wanted to have an advantage of 6 points. Pepper said luck doesn't exist in football. We have to score goals and we didn't do it. That's true. We played to score goals and concede few. We struggled a little bit. The team that was there today was there before and will be there in the next game. I'm very pleased with the performance and the way we played. We've never had 13 points. Liverpool had 2 games in hand, said Silva. Now it's 4 and they have 1 game in hand. We had very tough fixtures. Tottenham, Manchester United, Everton, Southampton, Palace. Still top. Vieira said you need a bit of luck. Vieira, you make it home luck. You didn't get luck. City were poor, but you lot did your thing. And I think I've read all of that. Again, on the topic of Abramovich, we looked at it yesterday, but corrupt deals, they're onto him. Panorama thing coming out already. It's spoken about how he got his wealth. He even spoke about a kidnapping as well. He was being sued by his... And again, they cannot... Boy, they're onto Roman. I was just reading that from my own personal game earlier. If you look at some of the transfer news, we've heard Luis Suarez is being linked with Aston Villa. Tottenham might be braced to hold off Manchester United. As you can see, Man United are considering moving for Kane. Lionel Messi's father and agent has called Barcelona to discuss whether the 34-year-old could return after leaving. Barcelona will consider a move for Lukaku if they can't get Haaland. Xavi is keen on the versatility of Mohamed Salah. Conte, we're going to speak about this at 11:30, but Conte, Pochettino is sacked. Sven Botman and Renato Sanchez seem to be leaving and heading for AC Milan. Right, Kelly are decent second there forever, but boy, I would want to go play some football. But it's very hard to find a decent number 2 who probably is happy to sit on the bench as much as you could say that. Manchester City are set to join Real Madrid and United in the race for Lewandowski. Not sure I believe that. Rafinha's drawing interest from Manchester United. to lose 16-year-old fullback and winger Ben Dork from to Liverpool. As you know, Fiorentina has been linked with Benfica, so that's a return home. Ceballos faces an uncertain future at the Bernabeu. But, bro, Ceballos, you still trying to do the Madrid thing? You still believe in that? I don't crush anyone's dream, but Brazy. DG, did you know Ukraine's president was a former actor/comedian? Brazy, such is life, man. You know, you've got reality TV stars doing things. Doesn't shock me. It's Brazy, man. I don't know what happened there, man. I really don't know. Twitch gang. What can I say? Once you start talking about certain things, you get it. See, they're onto you. As soon as I said Rothschilds and that, you see how Twitch just collapsed my man's thing. Them man act like moral compasses because they advocate for G rights. Let's be real now. Oof, I don't know. Bro, Trump was on WWF, 100%. It's Brazy. Kay Burley on Sky News asking a Ukraine woman to thank the British people for Irish hospitality. Wait, it's ignorance, man. You know, the moral compass. You look at a lot of European states. It's very funny how migrants and in fact people fleeing war are just seen as human beings that are scared to lose their lives. Unfortunately, if you're from other regions of this world, unfortunately, they've been described as cockroaches, as parasites, as viruses. You know, there's been a reluctance to help them. You know, even in this government, respectfully, I'm not saying anyone anywhere shouldn't be given money, but you couldn't feed your own kids here. You could not feed. A footballer is having to come out and try and feed youths. But somehow you're finding money to say, you know what, if you lot take Ukrainian people within your household, there's some peace there for you. Money in itself is an illusion as well. Why do you think you see quantitative easing and the solution has been to just print more money? But that's another thing, people. Away from that, Eriksen is in the Denmark squad for the first time, obviously, since his cardiac arrest. So big up Christian Eriksen for just being able to continue. But Arsenal, Rafinha at Barca would be lit. It probably would be, you know. And especially if he goes down, there's that nice COVID discount, that A1 COVID discount. Crazy one. But yeah, on that note though, people, I'm going live at 11:30, which is in 10 minutes. So yeah, man, gonna come off this pattern for that. Don't forget, people, 7:30. Man United kicks off at 8. So 7:30 on Twitch, this very application. I'll be doing a live stream for that. Make sure you join me, as I know a lot of you will. You know, throughout the course of this, we spoke about Jamie Carragher in Chelsea. We spoke about Chelsea broadly. We spoke about Arsenal. We spoke about a lot in it, people. So yeah, 11:30, we're going to preview Arsenal, Liverpool, see what this PSG thing with Arteta is saying, and let me see if there's any other Arsenal links and whatnot, people. Make sure you're checking the Twitch schedules. Appreciative to everybody that's been tuned in. Apologies about whatever, you know, the higher powers that be clearly just got us out of there with that one. So yeah, on that note, you lot stay blessed, stay safe, man.
Against this right back, Charlie.
There's always just that active and that defending. I think it's like